Hey everybody, welcome to DudeReally. I'm Dax.
I'm Damon.
And we're doing another round. We just did a 5-minute video on the atmosphere in the world being tense.
And we're not going to talk any further until you guys go watch it. So we'll wait.
Yeah, we'll wait. Okay,
yeah. All right. So welcome back.
Hope you liked it. No, you liked it.
Yeah, especially the cartoon character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so not going to go there. All right, yeah. So we're just talking about the craziness in the world, and basically also part of what this is going to be about is about how do you handle all this crazy shit going on in the world? Because we know that you people who are watching this are not part of the crazy people in the world.
You wouldn't be here if you were.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got too many likes for it to be part of the not crazy people.
Yeah. So one thing Damon mentioned before was, or we were talking about a little bit before, was like the anxiety that can be produced by this. You know, it's like, and I think you got to put yourself into a good place. Be like, first of all, make sure you're protected, and that's a gun. Mm-hmm. You need to have a gun, own a gun, take it with you in the public. You know, even if you're not allowed to, you need to find a place to put it because your life is more important than a law is.
And because police are not paid to react or to prevent, they're more reactionary. You know, that you look at any police documentary and stuff like that, they'll talk about the fact that they're usually responding to something after the fact. You know, so you have those minutes, those sheer minutes in order to save your life, save the life of a loved one, protect your property, protect your rights, that you wouldn't have if you call the police. It's just not going to happen.
Yep.
Unless you get lucky and there's a police officer in the car behind you or in the line behind you, whatever the case may be. But how often do you really see that?
Yeah. So be your own police officer if you have to. But yeah, so occasionally I carry 2 guns in the car. I'm going to start carrying 2 guns in the car all the time with extra clips. Unfortunately, that's the state of our world right now. I mean, really, you just can't get away from that. I mean, you can hide your head in the sand and be like, oh, it'll never happen to me. But what if it does? Yeah. You know, if it does and you're prepared, well, then you may have to shoot somebody, you know?
But you'll be prepared. And you know what? You'll see another day. Because like I always say, it's better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6.
Bam. And you want to keep seeing your family, your friends, your loved ones? I mean, you know, what's more important?
Isn't your child going to cry without you in this world? Isn't your loved one going to suffer because they have to put you to rest? How about your parents? Maybe you outlive or they outlive you. That's the fear of every parent, is to see their child them outlive their child.
And it's unfortunate we're having to talk about this. I mean, frankly, you know, I mean, really, I'd rather be talking about something that's funny. Because that's why we created this channel was, you know, to have a good time, to be funny.
Yeah, we could sit there and ignore this, but how do you ignore this?
Yeah.
How do you? All right, so there are protesters in Stone Mountain. They walked around Stone Mountain, Georgia, and they were walking around Stone Mountain and they were fully armed. They had AR-15s, they had rifles, they had their Berettas, their whatever.
And they were doing this because of the current atmosphere.
They were doing this because of the current atmosphere. Yeah. Yes, absolutely, and you know. And this is another thing, is that I don't want everybody to get pigeonholed in the point of, oh, well, you have to think one way, and you have to think that one way completely.
I do. They gotta think DudeReally way.
Yeah, well, yeah.
They gotta think DudeReally way.
Oh yeah, I agree. I completely agree with that. But there's something that you got to understand is that we've made a video on rationality. We made a video on taking everything rationally. So like I agree with the protesters' right to protest.
Yeah.
I agree with their right to bear arms, 100%. Do I completely agree with what some of the protesters? I don't know if it was the collective ideology, but do I agree with reparations? Do I agree with the servitude of the white man and things like that? No, I don't. Don't agree with those things. But do I 100% agree with them being out there showing their arms and walking down the street showing their arms? Absolutely 100%.
Yeah, what he's talking about there is this group in Stone Mountain, Georgia, was evidently saying that they are showing that they have a Second Amendment right to their arms, which they do, and which Damon and I agree with. But what some of them were also saying was that blacks in America should get reparations, which is just bullshit. I mean, you don't get money from people who haven't done anything for things that were done to people 150, 200, 300 years ago. I mean, that's just all that is theft.
Even if it was 30 years ago. Again, you don't get money from people who haven't done anything.
Yeah.
It's just the way it works.
And in America right now, for 55 years now, everybody has been free. Women have been free, minorities, transgenders, homosexuals. Everybody's been, blacks, whites, Hispanics, go down the list.
Yeah,
everybody has been free. So there's nothing to get repaired on, reparations. There's no repairing. If you're going to try that theft outlet, highway robbery, that's highway robbery is all it is.
It truly is. So you're telling me, hey, give me reparations for what? What did I do? It's not what you did. It's what somebody did that had the same color skin as you. Didn't even look like you, because I'm pretty sure they weren't this beautiful. But somebody that looked had the same color as you did. I was like, okay, well then you need to give reparations for wherever you came from, or however you came from, or if you came from China, you got to give reparations to that place. If you came from Japan, you got to give reparations to China for all the land that they took. If you came from Mongolia, you have to give reparations to them.
Well, you know what somebody brought up the other day, and this is really a good point. The Japanese in America were interned. They were put in prison camps by Franklin Delano Roosevelt, one of the worst presidents this country has ever seen. They were put into prison camps during World War II. I mean, innocent people, 500,000 or more were put. They had to stay there. Their jobs got taken away. Their businesses got taken away. Their homes got taken away. And so if there's anybody who might have a legitimate argument for getting reparations, it would be those people who are still alive that were imprisoned then, and maybe their kids who were put in there with them, because it actually happened in their lifetimes.
To them.
Yes. But not with blacks or Hispanics or Indians or anybody else. I mean, there's no, you don't get reparations for shit that happened in previous generations.
I'm an Italian American. I was an Italian American after all this other stuff. Or actually, I'm sorry, what I meant to say, I'm an American whose family lineage happens to be from Italy somewhere. And, I'm certain something bad happened to them.
Well, when the Italians first came to New York City, they were treated basically like slaves.
Yeah, well.
I mean, there was so much oppression of the Italians and the Irish and others who landed in New York City in the 18th and 19th century. It was nasty.
Yeah. And then taking those out, so reparations is bullshit.
Yeah.
So we don't agree with that part.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%.
But the part about the Second Amendment right to a gun, yeah. I mean,
rock on. I'll grab a gun and walk with you. Absolutely, 100%. I'll be like, I'll be right there standing beside you. Because why? Because we're free Americans. We're a free people. We need to hold on to that freedom. And there's a lot of things that are slipping away. This is the atmosphere. This is the stress. This is the anger. This is the aggravation. Because we don't feel free anymore. Why don't you feel free? Well, because people keep voting for rules to stop other people from doing things. What happens is you eventually become the person that gets stopped from doing things.
This didn't get really nasty until the politicians who started all this stuff from behind the scenes, until they started looking the other way while the savages are out in the streets attacking us.
Absolutely ridiculous. So you're talking about setting up an entire 6 city blocks of the autonomous zone, and the politicians are like, oh yeah, well, screw all the other people who live there, who work there, who deal with that now on a daily basis.
Or how about the people who are blocking interstates and other roads and threatening the people in the cars in front of them? Where are the police? Where are the politicians? Why aren't they shutting this down?
They should be. Look, you have a right to protest. You don't have a right to protest in the street, obstructing other people.
And frankly, if I'm by myself, or even especially if I've got my daughter in the car, and there are 50 people in the street in front of me, how do I know what they're going to do? I mean, is it peaceful, or is one of the sons of bitches going to come after us? And at that point, I got to start shooting.
And it only takes one. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's how much does it take to rile up a crowd? It takes somebody with a megaphone or somebody with an intent, somebody to do something, and the next thing you know, the crowd mentality shifts.
Yeah.
This has been true throughout history. You guys have seen it plenty of times. Yep. You could be in a group, you could be by yourself and make conscious and rational decisions, but as soon as a group comes around and you start to get that group mentality, that group think, then all of a sudden things get nasty. They could get nasty, and they turn nasty quick.
Yeah. I think we're going to have to, the first priority is you got to take care of yourself.
Super.
And you got to know you got a right to take care of yourself, your family, your friends, your next door neighbor, whoever it is. You got a right to do what's necessary within the law to protect yourself and not feel guilty about it. That couple that couple in that house
Yep.
that they filed charges against.
Yep.
I mean, all right, it's arguable whether the lady should have pointed a gun at them when they were going by in a big group, basically saying, "Don't come on our property."
Yeah.
But when they came on their property, it's over at that point. I mean, you got a bunch of people coming on your property with malicious intent, looking like they have malicious intent. Those people, they're done.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? If I see somebody pointing a gun, or if I see somebody who has a gun, I'm not going to want to go yell at them in the first place, because that's just
stupid
smart.
walking, man.
Exactly. So, all right, and that actually brings up a good point. That's one of the things I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the fact that she did not have good discipline. She didn't have good judgment. He didn't have good judgment. But in these situations, how are you able to handle yourselves? If you are never faced with this type of situation before, you haven't thought about it, then how do you handle it?
Yeah.
And do I think that they handled it fairly well, considering the fact that they have a large mob that they've seen on the news, that have gone and firebombed police stations, police cars, and things like
how
that.
do they know what that mob's going to do?
Obviously, they don't know if those people are a part of that mob that did all these things, but they do know that the movement itself is about that stuff. Even on their page, they even say stuff like that.
And they know that the mayor is allowing them to do that stuff. So at this point, people are going to start taking law into their own hands to protect themselves.
Yeah.
Now, you can't come back and file charges against them after you've already, as a mayor, created a climate in which these people are allowed to do whatever these savages are allowed to do whatever they please.
Exactly. And, please know that it's a complete group of people. These are people. They're individual people who come part of a group behind a banner in order to do whatever it is that they want to do. Because that's basically where it's coming down to right now. It's no longer about a real movement as it is just about doing what you want to do. Yep,
doing what they want to do to us and to the Amazon truck driver and going and just stealing stuff. I mean, this has unleashed the lunatics, the thieves, the ne'er-do-wells, the ones who give nothing to society. And I don't really like that phrase, but what I mean is they don't work and do something. Because when we work, we're actually doing not just something for ourselves to make our lives better, but we're creating something that other people want to pay their money for, whether it's our company or whether we're working for a company. So we're actually, if you want to use the term, which I don't really like, we're contributors to a better world. These people do nothing except destroy and steal and threaten. So they need to be called what they are. Maybe it's only 1 or 2% of the population, but they need to be called what they are, and that is savages. These people are no longer human beings. They're savages.
And they're getting savage. They're getting more and more savage. As they get more and more emboldened, they get more savage. And so that's why we're talking about the climate. This is a climate where you have to start thinking about these situations.
Yeah.
You have to protect yourself from the possibility of being prosecuted by these very politicians who are creating this atmosphere in the first place.
Yeah. And not a joke.
Unfortunately, these two attorneys, they didn't prepare themselves for the worst case scenario. But definitely the worst case scenario, you have to at least have it in your head. This is how I will handle it. So that if it does happen, I hope it doesn't, but if it does happen, you won't be caught with your pants down.
Yeah, you just got to prepare.
Yeah.
And this, Damon was mentioning this a while ago. I mean, history shows these kinds of eruptions, savage eruptions, once every 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, whatever. Remember the riots in the 60s over Vietnam? I mean, a lot of that stuff just shouldn't have happened, but it did. And a lot of people felt really threatened. But what's been created now is something I think that may be a little bit worse. And that is a political environment in which these people are coddled and sort of implicitly allowed to do as they please with us. And that's a whole different environment right there. That's a dangerous environment. And so what the politicians are basically saying is, all right, we're going to go ahead and let the savages do as they please. Let's see how well you regular folks take care of yourselves.
Exactly. And that's what we're talking about when we say savages and us. Who are savages? Do we put a color on it? Nope. Because guess what? You can be any color and be a savage.
Well, most of Antifa is white.
Yeah, most of it. A lot of the people who are doing the looting and the pillaging over in what was it, Minnesota, Michigan?
Minneapolis.
Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota. A lot of those were white, as a matter of fact. Yeah. So Who are we calling savages? We shouldn't have to say this, but in this atmosphere, in today's day and age, we actually have to tell you that everybody who decides to go ahead and rob, steal, do bad things to who is us? Citizens who just want to live and have a great time. That's it. There's no color on any of these people. They just are simply savages because of what they choose to do. We are us. We are citizens because of what we choose to do. We don't steal, we don't rob, we don't pillage, we don't destroy. We're the us. The ones who steal, rob, pillage, destroy, obstruct. That's the savages.
Yeah. And so we're leaving
simple.
We're leaving other people alone. We're even leaving the savages alone.
Right?
So
leave me alone.
Yeah, we're just minding our own business.
We love it.
But not them. They won't let us mind our own business. And that's really the defining line here. That's always the defining line. Your bad people are the ones who won't let other people alone. The good people are those who just want to live their own lives and be happy and take care of themselves and the people they love. So there is a very stark line on all of this.
Okay. Perfect example, as a matter of fact. And this is a perfect example. How can you tell a savage? A savage would be somebody who forces themselves into your life.
Yeah.
In one way, shape, or form. Give me your money. Give me your stuff. Give me your this. Give me your that. You do this. You do that. That's a savage.
Yep.
They're forcing themselves into your life. A good person is somebody who's like, hey, I'm going to do me. You do you. Hey, can we get together and can we make a mutual agreement or something like that? Great, wonderful, sounds wonderful. Peace.
Yeah, and mentally, everything that Damon said is exactly right. But mentally, the savage mental process is one that refuses to understand that there are other human beings in the world and that they have a right to their own lives. They refuse to think about it. The only thing that they will think about is what they want. Yeah.
Give me. It's for me.
I will take.
I'm going to get.
And I will take it.
And you know why, again? Because I'm bigger than you. Because I'm better than you.
Because there are more of me than there are you. That's the pack mentality. And they know this. They know this. I mean, one reason you don't see Antifa and BLM and these other corrupt, savage movements, the one reason you don't see them at rodeos is because everybody there is armed.
Exactly. And there's more of them.
The one reason you don't see them at gun shows is because everybody's armed. And they're cowards. Savages are cowards.
Why don't you see a video? Why don't we ever see videos on YouTube about that one Antifa member who's going around the Capitol or wherever, going around anywhere and hitting people and spraying them and hitting them with white blocks? Why do you only ever see them in groups? Why isn't it never that one? If you are so righteous, so vicious in your thing that you were like, oh, it's okay to punch a Nazi. Why don't I ever see those groups of single people going out and punching Nazis that they say they're perceived Nazis?
They're pack animals.
Nope, yep. You gotta have more than 5.
Yep.
If there's not more than 5, that bravery for some reason disappears.
Yeah. And Antifa recently, about 2 weeks ago, a bunch of armed citizens in Austin who believe in the Second Amendment and rights. They armed themselves and they went down to where the shops are in Austin. Didn't do anything, weren't bothering anybody. Police were around, but they got interviewed and they were like, we just want to see Antifa come over here and bother us. We want to see, they know we're here. We let them know we're here. But you know what? They haven't shown up yet. Why didn't the cowards, because that's what Antifa is, BLM, they're all cowards. Why didn't they show up? Because they knew that they weren't going to be able to handle armed, confident citizens wanting to protect their own rights. It's obvious. I mean, I know I just stated the obvious, but they stay away from those pockets. They have their little snitches to tell them where the soft places are in America, and that's where they go. They go hit the soft places, and they go in big groups to hit those soft places.
And what do? They shock citizens. They shock them. You're a Nazi. You're evil. You're racist. Dude, I'm just walking down the street buying an ice cream. What did I do? You're wearing that hat. That hat is horrible. That hat is hate. That hat is destruction. Dude, I just really want to go get this ice cream. Can you leave me alone?
In what era did it finally become dangerous to wear a hat in America?
Right.
I mean, seriously, you can't wear a red hat, MAGA hat. I mean, really, you do have to worry. Even where we live, in a pretty decent place in Georgia.
Yeah, fairly any crime.
Yeah, you wear a MAGA hat, you're putting a target on your back. That's never been the case in America. This is the left.
That's an invitation to get messed
Yeah.
with. That's an invitation, basically. That's what they're saying. There's an invitation for the savages to force themselves into your life again.
Yeah.
Because guess what? You're not forcing yourself into anybody's
No.
life. You're wearing
You're just
a hat.
wearing a
in your
hat.
life.
Yeah.
Just the way it is. You know,
You're wearing a freaking hat.
welcome to a free America. Welcome to freedom of expression. Welcome to freedom of speech. You don't like it, then leave. Go to another country where they don't have these things. Where your view can be the number one. I mean, I hear communist China. It's great about, having you're not allowed to talk about things that they don't want you to talk about. So you probably love it there. North Korea, I'm certain they'd invite you in, probably.
Yeah, the cowards are stupid also, but they're not that stupid.
Of course not.
They're not. Yeah,
Come on. You're like, wait. I would actually go to the place where they practice what I preach?
Yeah.
No, I want to do that here.
Yeah.
It's
You don't see them jumping on airplanes and going to
go to Venezuela.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness gracious! I saw something Dinesh D'Souza actually posted on Twitter. It was really cool, and it was some psycho liberal or whatever posted, what's worse than capitalistic architecture? They had a bunch of like ExxonMobil signs, and so it was a picture of a street with like ExxonMobil, Pizza Hut, and all this other shit. And so Dinesh D'Souza eating out of a trash can in Venezuela. It's like,
That's good. That's exactly right.
I would agree with that. I would absolutely agree.
Yeah. And that's the kind of country that the left is trying to create. Look, I voted for Trump in the last election. There are many aspects of his personality that I just find really deplorable.
Yeah.
I use that word. No, but what he has done for this country in the last almost 4 years is simply amazing.
That's great.
Yeah, and I'm not here to go over all the stuff that he's done.
It's a whole nother video.
Yeah, it is. And I'm not going to sit here and trash talk his personality, which I'm not crazy about. And frankly, I'm also not very crazy about the Republicans. They don't have a spine on them.
You can name only a few. Very, very short list.
Ted Cruz and a few others.
Trey Gowdy got out of it.
Yeah, I know.
So, unfortunately.
But right now, voting for any Democrat, you're voting for your own destruction, folks. You are voting for your own destruction if you vote for the left.
You're voting to lose your First Amendment right. You're voting to lose your Second Amendment right. You're voting to
All
lose
of
your Fourth Amendment right.
Yeah, just throw the amendments out.
Yeah, might as well. Because they're coming after each and every single amendment.
Search and seizure, safety in your own home, Fourth, all that. I mean, throw all that shit out.
Yep. Because as of right now, that's all on the table.
Yeah.
How can you believe that you're saying that in America?
No. I'll tell you, I'm not going to let it happen.
Dude.
I'll start shooting. Dude, I know. I'll start shooting before that shit happens. I will start. If the Democrats win this next election, they win the presidency, and they win both houses of Congress, folks.
You're about to see a landslide whirlwind.
It's going to be nasty.
It's going to be crazy.
Also, the other way, if the Republicans win everything, including the White House, and they take control of Congress, it's going to be a different kind of revolution.
Yeah.
It's going to be riots in the streets. And it's going to be more of the nastiness that's going on right now. It needs to happen, though, because they need to come out of the woodwork so they can all be put in prison.
That's one of the things I like. I like the fact that everybody's emboldened. Everybody feels emboldened
To be who they are.
To be who they are. The savages are super emboldened right now. It's just awesome. Because you can know, I'm walking down the street, I can see that group walking down the street, and they got their Bernie 2020. Ha 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 ha! They got that stuff, and you can be like, "Oh, all right. Well, those are the people who want to steal my money and take my stuff."
The worst president we've had for the last 50 years was Barack Obama, and I don't know how many times I pulled up behind the car that had an Obama Biden sticker.
That just happened to me today, actually.
Or some Obama hat or Obama shirt, some bullshit, or Che Guevara or whatever. I don't go around beating up those people for having really bad ideas and voting for really nasty people like Obama and Biden. People who tried to wreck this country for 8 years.
And by the way, you guys are trying to reelect them. Not you guys, but they are trying to reelect them.
Yeah.
They're trying to reelect one of those people who fucked up the country.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, but I didn't go around creating an atmosphere of hate and destruction and thievery and barbarism and savagery because Obama, the wretched Obama, was in power for 8 years. I complained about it.
Yeah, you go around and say, hey, I hate that asshole.
Yeah.
Welcome to free America.
Yeah. But me and other libertarians and conservatives and Damon, we didn't go around rampaging across America because we don't like what some people are saying.
It's unfair.
Yeah, and we just don't, things have to change.
It's hateful.
I want. No, we didn't do that. We went on with our lives, and we just, said nasty shit about them.
Yeah, we say, you know what, this is bullshit. But we're going to live. Because that's what we want to do. That's what everyone wants to do.
And that's the difference between good people and bad people. Good people, they're vocal. They say what they disagree with, but they don't go around trying to freaking savage on other people.
I'm not going to punch somebody in the face because they thought Obama was a good president. I'm going to say, no, I completely disagree with you, and these are the reasons why. And they were like, well, you're full of shit. I'm like, all right, well, fuck you too.
I'm going to say, I pity the fool. I pity the fool. I pity the fool.
Is that like Eddie Murphy
Mr.
reference?
T. Mr. T. I pity the fool. Mr. T.
Yeah, you did Eddie Murphy, he did the skit.
Oh, he did that skit?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You didn't know about that? What?
Oh, that's the Live at the Apollo.
Yeah,
that's
oh my God. I was like,
no, I just remember that fuck skit he did. Like,
about
with Mr. T. Yeah. Yeah. That was great.
Eddie Murphy.
That was
Eddie
great.
Murphy.
I pity the fool. Oh, yeah, he was. All right. We better wrap up. Damon, what do you think?
I think that we have definitely beat this dead horse.
Any final thoughts?
Be prepared. Be prepared. Be tactically prepared. Be mentally prepared for whatever happens, so that you don't fall into the same trap that happened to these two people who were protecting their home. Just,
be smart. Be armed. Be smart. Be armed, and think about how you're going to protect everybody you care about.
Run through a scenario.
Yeah.
You don't have to go around, tactically moving with your gun. No, but definitely think about scenarios. Think about the everyday scenario that you're not prepared for, that you never thought would happen. Just have a little bit of a set plan in your mind.
Yeah.
People talk about you need a plan if there's a fire in your house, right? He has a plan. He's got a little ladder because he has a higher thing.
I'm going to scream like a little girl when I'm jumping out.
That's okay.
Neighbors across the street. I pity the fool.
But have a plan. Have a plan. Have that thought in your head. Go there. Go to that scary place.
Yeah,
because it is a scary place.
That's a good point.
As a civilized person, it's civilized society. This is not something.
Go there. Deal
with it.
Yeah, deal with that scary
Figure
place.
it out.
Get comfortable. Realize that you will shoot somebody if necessary. You don't want to, but you will.
Absolutely.
Figure out scenes in your head so that you can get to your calm place. Don't let these people win by putting you in a state of fear.
Remember, you are not forcing yourself into their lives. They are forcing themselves into yours.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. They are making the conscious decision to try and fuck you.
Yeah.
You are not making the conscious decision to try and fuck them.
Yeah.
No,
you're good.
You're fine.
Yeah.
So
all right.
Just think about it.
That was some awesome shit, Damon.
Yeah.
That was awesome shit that you said too, Dax.
Oh yeah. What I meant to say was, Dax, you're amazing. Yeah. No, dude, really, dude,
really.
Do I?
Dude, really, you're awesome.
Do I have to say it? Do I have?
No,
to
you don't have to say it.
You should. This should already be known. This is the type of person that needs affirmation like all the time. Right?
Well, we
I'm not that amazing. Yes, you are. You're amazing. Oh, I am amazing, aren't I?
Oh my God! I was trying to think of a cartoon character who said that, and I couldn't think of it.
Said what? I'm amazing?
No, it was
Johnny
the
Bravo.
needing the affirmation. It was the little fish one.
The little fish cartoon character.
Yeah, I can't remember her
Klaus?
name. No. Anyway, I'll think of it on the next one. All right, we got to sign off. You guys take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself. And, that.
Sure. Yeah. Boy, we are seriously cool.
Yeah, right.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, people are going to be like, hey, let's be like Dax and David.
All right, check y'all out soon. Bye now.